Now notice these last two are a little bit different. And obviously they're different because I have a variable. But I promise you, variables are not bad. Let's start by the index. My index is 4. And I prime factor. 32 divided by, it's even, so we'll do 2. 32 divided by 2 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. I can again stop. So my prime factorization this time was all 2's. So I have 4th root of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. But don't forget about our x to the 6th. Well, if y'all remember, whenever you multiply exponents, you actually add them. So I'm going to rewrite x to the 6th as x to the 4th times x squared. X to the 4th times x squared. Now, if that's too confusing, you can totally write it out the long way, which would be x times x times x times x times x times x. So 6 of them. Again, my index is 4. So I'm going to pull out groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 1, 2 on the outside and 1x on the outside. 4th root of 2. I have x times x, but I'm not going to write x times x. Instead, I'm going to write x squared. And that is your first simplified radical using variables. Again, I'm going to start the next one for you, but your job is to finish it up. My index is an understood. See if you can write it down before I write it down. Understood 2. And then you can try to factor it on your own. Sorry, not factor. Oh, I'm stuck in factoring. Try to simplify it on your own. I'll do one with you again on the back, and then I'll let you try again on your own. Let's do number 2. Let's do number 2. So I've got an index, always start with your index, of 3. And I do prime factorization. 64 divided by, I know I always start with 2, but it's just so easy. 64 divided by 2 is 32. And we just did the prime factorization of 32, so it is the same from here on out. But if you need to do it again, do it again. 32 divided by 2 is 16. Divided by 2 is 8. Divided by 2 is 4. Divided by 2 is 2. Divided by 2 is 1. I can again stop. So that's my prime factorization for 64. So now I'm going to go rewrite. Cube root of, I got a long one now, because of this a to the 6th and this b to the 7th that I'm going to have to deal with. So I've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then a to the 6th is the same thing. A times A times A times A times A times A. A lot of you are not going to need to do this. Okay, if you need to do it, please do it. But a lot of you don't need to do that. And then b to the 7th would be, I'm just going to come down, forgive me, times b to the 7th. So there's 2 of them. Here's a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. But I need to group them off by 3's. 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 Okay? So here's a pair of here is a group of 2's, so they're going to come out. Another group. so they're going to come out. Another group, so they're going to come out. Another group, so they're going to come out. Another group, another group. So that's all on the outside. Then I still have cube root of this poor little guy right over here. Let's put him in a different color so we can make sure that we understand where it's coming from. So this b right here stays under the radical symbol right here. Okay, so I have cube root of b. I, of course, have to finish simplifying this right here. So I have 4 a squared b squared cube root of b. I know that's written kind of weird and far apart, so let's put them close together. 4a squared b squared cube root of b. And that is your final answer. If you have questions, you're more than welcome to come up to my desk and ask. I have the answer key that is uploaded. If there's anything that needs clarification, please do let me know.